Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. This week, talking about the dispatchers. Yep, dispatching it's a very difficult job, but it's a very crucial job to get right. So, seeing as how dispatching is a critical link in the chain of success for my troopers, I always tried to get to know the dispatchers, find out what's going on with them, help them realize that they are appreciated. So one of these ways I'd do it, sometimes I'd call up and give them a little prank call every once in a while. So our dispatchers are in a remote location from the troopers, so I get to see the troopers every day, see how they're doing. Dispatchers, you hear the voice over the radio and you get to where you can identify whose voice is which and all that. But every once in a while you want to make sure you stay in contact with them, reinforce that part of the team aspect. So one day when I got my work all finished there, I'm running a squad up at Superstation Sussex. Shout out to you guys. I was sitting there going, man, there ain't nothing going on. Nothing's happening on the radio. Nothing's happening anywhere. Quiet day. Wow, nice change. So I figure I'll give a little call to dispatcher, see how they're doing. So I pick up the phone there and dial up the public number that everybody uses, if you're calling in needing some kind of assistance from the state police. Sure enough, phone rings up at the dispatch center and I hear a voice say, "State Police, what's your emergency?" And I said, well, there's my pet anteater, he's stuck underneath the sink. And you see, I try to keep them out of the kitchen, because that's where if you got any ants, that's where they're going to be in an anteater. They're like an ant-seeking missile. They just go after them. There ain't nothing you can do to stop them, because they're doggone as strong as they are wide. And anyway, he fetched up underneath the sink, got himself all jammed in there, can't get him out. I was wondering if you could send some troopers by and help me, wedge him out from underneath there. Now, the accent kind of gives it away after a little bit, Dispatcher kind of cottons into it and like, "Sarge, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, how you doing?" They say, "Oh, we're doing all right. It's a little slow up here." I was like, "Yeah, I figured I'd call and see how everything's going." How's everybody doing up in the old dispatch center? When I get the news from up there and chat a little bit, reinforce that we're all on the same team and we all got to pull together kind of thing. Keep those links tight. Let them know they're appreciated. Got a hard job. Doggone thankless job. But a good dispatcher makes everything run smooth. Dispatcher having a bad day, it's going to give everybody a bad day in that chain. So when I was assistant station commander, I was like, everything's kind of quiet. When that little devil comes up on my shoulder, starts whispering in my ear, and nothing's going on the radio, all my work's done, looking at the clock, I'm like, dang, man, this day is dragging, which is a good thing. One days that are dragging. So I'm like, I think earlier I heard a new voice on the radio from the dispatch center. So I turned my radio up a little bit, and, catch a couple little things going on, nothing earth-shaking or emergency type. And I'm like, it is a new voice. Thinking I might have me a little fun and introduce myself in my own special way to the new dispatcher. Now, I know dispatchers, when they're new, they go under a coaching program just like my troopers do. When I talked about in a couple videos back, I know there's a doggone senior dispatcher sitting right there beside the new dispatcher. Got the earphones on, plugged into everything that the new dispatcher's plugged into, can hear everything that's going on. Help them out if they need any kind of assistance, give them some direction, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call up this new dispatcher. So dial the old phone, "State Police, what's your emergency?" And I said, well, my giraffe, he got loose. I had him in the front yard, jumped in the backyard where he ain't supposed to be. He's running around there having a hell of a time. He's about half grown, so he likes getting out and running around a little bit. But Doggone if he didn't run underneath the clothesline and get all hung up. The giraffe's got a long neck and all, so he tried to get through there, got hung up, twisted around a little bit. And, he's okay, but he's stuck. I was wondering if you could send a couple troops out to help out. And new dispatcher's like, a giraffe? And I'm like, yes. If you could send some troopers out, a couple extra hands, I think I could get this, this giraffe unhooked. Everything be good to go. And new dispatcher's like, what's your address? And I'm like, whoa, okay. You got me. And the senior dispatcher, he must have been holding it in or something. He bursts out laughing. He's like, Sarge, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm introducing myself to the new dispatcher. And the senior dispatcher's like, well, yeah, new dispatcher so-and-so. And I said, hey, how you doing? Introduced myself over the phone. And new dispatcher like, yeah, been going there for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, well, just want to let you know you're a critical part of the team. We appreciate you. So, learn everything you can learn. Just do it like it's clack-a-lacking. Got to make sure them gears mesh up. We're all in this together. Big old team. You're a crucial link in it, so we appreciate what you're doing. So have a nice visit on the phone. Hang it up. Now later on, months and months after that, it's wintertime, snow on the ground and all that. So here this dispatcher, was sound like they're having a hard day on the radio. You can tell by the voice on the radio. It's like, this person's usually pretty happy, and they sounded a little down, like they're having a little difficulty. And I've been listening to this, and find everything, quiets down on the radio. It's been that way for a while. I'm like, I probably ought to call up, make sure the dispatcher's okay. Because everybody has a bad day. Like I said, you can keep track of your troopers in the station, see how they're doing, but dispatchers are in a remote location. You got to keep track of them too. So pick up the phone, dial it up, get the old state police, what's your emergency? I said, well, I was getting ready to take my bunny rabbit for a walk. It's nice, completely solid white bunny rabbit. And I had the front door open just a little bit. I was getting ready to hook the leash up. And before I get it hooked up, bunny rabbit jumped out, jumped into a snowdrift. Now I can't find my bunny rabbit. I was wondering if you could send some troops out to help me find it. And dispatcher starts laughing a little bit. And they're like, Sarge, what the hell are you doing now? And I'm like, well, you sound like you're having a little bit of a tough day. Figured I'd check on you, maybe get a smile out of you, see what's going on. They're like, yeah, I have one of them days, everything's fine. It's just, life in general. And I'm like, all right, well, visit with them a little bit, get them in a little bit better mood. Things spark up on the radio pretty nice now. Got that team back, got a little tune-up on it, and everything's going good. So, got to keep track of all you folks, not just the ones that are in your immediate area. So, shout-out section this week. Shout out to all my B troopers out there doing that. J-O-B. We appreciate it. Holding true to the oath, no matter what these crazy politicians or any other of this nonsense that's going on right now. We appreciate you. Best we keep track of each other now, doggone it. So thank you. Keep up the good work. Military, we appreciate what you're doing out there. You overseas, far away from home. Beautiful summertime. Missing the good old US of A. America. We appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate your sacrifice. So thank you. Thank you very much. So till next week, me and Christmas Pig, bye now.